You're that bloody Oscar, eh? He's got me more times than I care. Oh, yeah, I see you, you little bugger. Hey, you get away. G'day YouTube, Dub here. Just want to be straight up with you guys and let you know I don't have a whole lot of Lego content to share with you this week. I do, however, have a new little set and some very interesting and expensive parts to share with you. So we'll get that out of the way early for you Lego freaks that might not be interested in the fish, but that's what we're going to do today, because I quite often get asked, can we have a look at the fish again? So today we're going to go through each of the fish tanks and have a look. The ones I've got out the back here, I do have some other fish tanks throughout the house, and I have shown those before. And of course I've got my big Saratoga out in the pond, but we can't look at him at the moment because it's dark outside. But at night, best time to look at the fish here under light. So we're going to go through each of these tanks here, and I thought, as something a little bit different, I'm going to feed one of the tanks. And it's a tank down the end there, which I'm not actually sure if we can see that where we are at the moment, but it's all my big cichlids, and sometimes they can put on quite a show at feed time, and sometimes they give me a complete bath at feed times. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen tonight, because I'll get my camera all wet. So we'll see how that pans out. But we're going to go through the tanks. I'm going to show you a few fish, tell you what their names are, that sort of thing. Won't spend too long on each tank. And I've got some new fish. I'll show you those. I've got those in quarantine at the moment, so I'm going to show those to you as well. And I did lose a fish, one of my big cichlids, my rivulatus, out of my big tank, so that was quite sad, but it does happen from time to time, unfortunately. But I think that's enough gibbering on what you're going to see. Let's start showing you, shall we? So just have a bit more of a chat while I'm opening this box. Now, one of the reasons that I don't have a lot of content for you at the moment is, in Australia here at this time of year, Barramundi season, that's a type of fish. The season has just opened. It opens at the end of January or the beginning of February. So I tend to do quite a bit of fishing at this time of year. Now I've already been away for one weekend, and I'm actually going away again this weekend. So I thought this is sort of a nice little video to share with you in between. I was actually going to do a video and talk about the current state of Lego pricing. I sort of get a little bit tired about talking about those or reading about those sorts of things and that, but let me know if you'd be interested in that topic, the current pricing, the increase in pricing, and what that might do to how I will collect Lego and how you will collect Lego in the future. So we can make it a bit of a discussion. I can have a chat, you can put your thoughts in the comments, and we can continue the conversation there. So if you'd like to see that video, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can churn something out for next weekend and we can get that video done. So yeah, and while you're there, while you're having to think about it, and you're going down below in the comments to let me know the answer to that question, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. So let's get into this. Now this is only a small set because I've ordered, which I've talked about, when did I order this? I think, yeah, so when I did my city update video, I talked about how I ordered a lot of parts. Was it that order? No, I have ordered more parts again from Bricks and Pieces. So yeah, it's like taken 2 months to get them. So I've done another order, and to get free shipping, I added another small set, which is pretty much what I showed you last time that I did with some small sets. I got that Batman set. This time, instead of a Batman set, I got a Spider-Man set. So this is set 76195, Spider-Man's Drone Duel. And yeah, I actually really like the minifigures. Well, I'm not pointing to the right spot to get this black suit Spider-Man. I'm not right up with what the suit is, what they call that suit, but black suit Spider-Man will do me. And the Vulture, of course, and I was a big fan of the last Vulture with the Lego built wings and everything, so I'm keen to have a look at this one and compare it And yeah, I think that's a pretty cool little set. So I picked that up. Now, so what are these cool and expensive parts that I picked up? Well, it's only two different parts that I got. And there's a little bit of a story here. So in the past I have built my own Silent Mary ship, and before it was a ghost ship. So I've got my own mock there, and I'll put a card up here, so if you haven't seen it you can check that out. But I've always wanted to build my own Black Pearl to go with it. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I kind of thought one day I'll build it, but then I started thinking, you know what? If I don't order some of the crucial parts I need for that now, say in 2 years time I get round to building it, who knows how long it's going to be, but say it's 2 years time, those parts are going to be hell of a lot more expensive because they're already expensive now. So what I went ahead and did is I ordered two parts for the bow. So these are quite expensive parts. Now I actually ordered these out of the US, and I paid, I'm not sure which way, I think it was about 23 bucks US for this one and about 13 for that, and with shipping and everything I paid 50 US dollars to get these two parts. And of course they are used. I actually don't think there's too many new. I imagine there would be some new ones, but I don't think there's a lot of new parts in this available. But yeah, they look pretty good. So the other part, of course, is the hull pieces. Now the original Black Pearl had 3 of the hull pieces. When I built my Silent Mary, I think I used 6 of those. And for this, it wouldn't be as big, my build, so maybe I might use 4 to 5. But those parts are bloody expensive. I mean, the cheapest one is about the same price as these two put together. So they sort of go from, I think the cheapest about 35 bucks or so, and they quickly go into the 40s and up to the 50s. And if you're talking about having like 5 of those, that's really, really expensive, isn't it? So I actually thought, well, as long as I had these bow pieces, which are the main ones to me, I'm pretty confident I can actually come up with something to build my own hull. And I actually had a little bit of a play around with it before I went ahead and ordered those, just to make sure I could come up with something. So I've just used some brown pieces here in the bow, dark brown, light brown or reddish brown. And I've just used slopes here, these inverted slopes. And I think that marries up. I don't know how good that's coming across under this poor lighting, I do apologise. Yeah, but yeah, I think that sort of will do the deed for me anyway. It's time now to turn off this light and we'll start having a bit of a look at the fish. So we're going to start down this end with my discus tank. Now I've got several types of fish in here. Of course the discus, which are these guys that look a bit like a discus. And I've got some gold rams. We've got quite a sort of school of gold rams, and I've also got some Corydoras, and these are Julii Corydoras. So there's one up the back there. It's not really, let's see if I can get another guy up here. There's another one there. So I've got 4 of those in there, and I've also got some leopard frog plecos and some 333 plecos in there, and I don't know, there's one back there. I don't really know if you're going to see him. Let's see if I can zoom. They're not going to let me get in close because they want their dinner. They'll be right in front. They love the camera. They love attention, these guys. Now they're not the biggest of discus. Of course they are still growing a bit for me, but yeah, they're not the biggest of discus, how big they can get. I don't maintain these to get the optimum size for discus. If people know about these fish, you know, they can get twice as big as these guys. And you know, like, there's a lot of debate in the fish world how to look after discus. A lot of people, you know, that have them do their water changes daily or every other day. For me, if you're interested in this, how I look after mine basically is that I do a 90% water change once a week. So and I do that for most of my tanks, but not all of them. Some I'll leave a couple of weeks. But what I thought I'd do is something that's really cool. I just thought of it. These guys just love attention. So let me stick my hand in and just look at these guys. They just have a go at your fingers. This big guy just here, he does. You feel it when he pecks on your finger. But you know, I can grab him. Look at this guy, just about grab him. I could rip him in. Oh, he freaked out a little bit. But yeah, they just love it. But he's straight back. Have a look at that. Where is he? There, he's back nibbling on my finger. So yeah, very, very fun fish to have, and not scared of you at all. Now, this is my, I call this my community tank because it's the most variety of fish in here. But they're all community tanks. But yeah, let's just have a bit of a look at some of these guys. I've got a couple of angel fish. And I've got to admit, I struggle with angel fish. I think the quality of angel fish, that they're so interbred for colours now that, yeah, I always sort of seem to struggle. I get them to a decent size and then I lose them. So, yeah, which is unfortunate. I've got a lot of rainbows in here. So I've got turquoise rainbows. And they're actually not too coloured up at the moment. But later at night after feed time, they'll get really coloured up. Got my red rainbows again. All the rainbows here aren't really colourful at the moment. Yeah, it tends to be when they get a bit frisky after dinner, if you know what I mean. That yeah, they'll colour up a bit more. So you got the red rainbows, obviously, yeah, the red rainbow. Bosemani rainbows, I've got a couple of those in there as well. Very hard to pinpoint them because they just zoom around. I've got some keyhole cichlids, peaceful cichlids, keyhole cichlids, Bolivian rams. I've got a moonlight gourami, quite a few different cories in here as well. I've had a few people that, yeah, they haven't wanted to get rid of their fish tanks or whatever. If they got some cories, I grab them and chuck them in. So I've got a bit of a variety in here of types. And let's see if we can see this guy in here, if it will focus in. So there's one of the plecos there. That's a 297. So yeah, he's absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, I can't show you. There's another one there. This one here doesn't have as good coloration though. Very hard. They're very hard to show you, the plecos, yeah. And that is a super red bristlenose on that log there. And oh, there's a guy. There's one there. That's a what do they call that one? A common name. I think it's King Tiger, but it's a 333. Let's see if I can zoom in on that guy, shall we? Is it going to focus for me? I can't. There. Oh. No, get out of the way, fish. There. Oh, come on, focus. Don't know if it's going to, but you can see him back there. He's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, what else is here? What's another fish to point out? A couple of giant denios. This big guy here. Yeah, I actually think they look, with their head like that, they look a bit like a trout. But yeah, he'll be hard to focus on because again, they never stop bloody moving. So, yeah, that is my community tank. Let's just come back here. Okay, so now we go on to my cichlid tanks. So this is a 5-foot tank. This is a 6-foot tank, and they're 2 foot wide and a little bit over 2 foot high. Actually 70 centimeters, and 2 foot is 60 centimeters. So a little bit more than 2 foot. And these are mostly American cichlids, so Central and South American cichlids. So, except that guy, he's actually an African river cichlid. That's a humphead. Now have a look. I mean, some might think that fish is ugly. I think he's bloody beautiful. Look at the head on it. Looks a bit like mine. Yeah, I think he's gorgeous. And I've got a red Severin. And actually, probably from the last time I filmed, I had 2 red Severins and I did lose one. So yeah, I've lost not too much. I think I've lost 2 big cichlids, yeah, in the last few months. So yeah, like I said, it does happen. I have got some plecos in there, and I think these are 202s, if I remember rightly. And have a look at this guy sticking his head out of there. So that is a ghost knife fish. He's about 40 centimeters long. So that's, you know, that's well over a foot. That's 30 centimeters, so I can give you a bit of an idea. And in there, he's normally got a mate hanging with him that's up the back. I've got an L600, which is my most expensive fish, and that's again a type of pleco, and he's absolutely gorgeous. And if he does come out, I'll try and catch some extra footage of him to show you, because yeah, he's a pretty special fish. Okay, and a lot of these are earth eaters is their general term to call these. So these Serenamensis, and I've got 4 of those, and I've got a albino Hecklei and a redhead or Tapaho cichlid, and they sift through this gravel like nothing. And you can see, if I have a look at this bed of gravel now, see how thick, if I put my hand here, how thick this gravel is. I take it down, when I clean this tank, I take it down to about here, and I move all this gravel to the back of the tank. And then as soon as I do that, they go about moving it all to the front of the tank. And I'll put it all over these rocks, so normally when it's done you don't even see those rocks. These rocks under there, they're all covered up. I actually have them there to stop them digging too much. And yeah, they just love it. They just sift all day long. Here, see if I can get this guy. See, he just did a little bit there, just picked up a bit and spat it out. But that's all they do. Normally they'd be doing it right now, but because I'm standing here, they think they're going to get fed. So they're just all watching me. But normally they're just mouthfuls of gravel. Pick it up, sift it in their mouth, spit it out. Just all day long. It's fascinating to watch. I was hoping I might get these guys to come out, but yeah, it's he's a beautiful fish, but on that angle, yeah, you can't pick it. He's actually upside down there, so he's actually just swimming upside down, just chilling out. Yeah, fascinating fish. They're actually blind, so yeah, and that's why he lives in a log like that, because they give out an electrical pulse, so they know where to swim, what's around them, almost like a radar, if you will. And when they're in a log like that, they know they're completely surrounded, so they know they're safe and secure. So that's why they like to live in a log like that. Okay, and now down to the big guys here. Actually, we'll do a little cruise right on past, have a little look-see, and I'll just quickly show you. Now this tank here, actually originally this was going to be a quarantine tank, and I started breeding some super red bristlenose, so I'll just show you around here, see if he'll probably take off. But have a look at this guy. There's, oh no, yeah, I thought he would do that. That's my big male. So big male up the back there. So yeah, there's a colony of those, and there's a few other fish in there as well. I'm just sort of raising up. And this is down here, it's my quarantine tank. So when I buy fish, I don't just go and chuck them in my tank, because they could have an illness, and you want to be able to pick up on that and treat them before you put them in your tank. So we have emerald green brocas here. So these are very similar to a Cory. I think actually a lot of times they just call them emerald Cories. So Corydoras. So they've got that emerald sheen to them. I think you can see that guy at the back under the light. Not the best light on this, it's just a quarantine tank. When they go in my big tank, they're going to look absolutely beautiful. So there's 4 of those, and I did get a couple more rams, gold rams, and they're going to go in the Discus Tank. So yeah, so at the moment they're being wormed. I'm actually worming my fish, so make sure they're nice and clean before they get added to the other tank. Okay, so the big guys, here we go. Now these fish like these guys are over a foot long. So it gives you a bit of an idea. So, you know, he's like a foot and a half, this big pleco back here. And if he comes up at feed time, we're going to hand feed him tonight. Got this big Oscar here, and he's had a bit of a carry on yesterday because, come over this, hey, come over here, come this way. No, don't go that way. I want you to come this way, you bullfed. Come on. Yeah, that'll make you turn, won't it? You think you're going to get fed. Here we go. He's got this big douche on him. So he's had a bit of a tussle there and knocked himself about, but all good. Add a little bit of salt to the water, just a little bit. Heals up real quick. Okay, so that's an Oscar. This is a Vieja Sin Spillum. It's a Vieja black belt. So he's actually a new addition. So this is a tank I lost my big Rivulatus, and when I lost him I actually got myself a black belt. This is one of my favourite fish of all time. Got some Severins, some red shoulder Severins. There's one there, there's two of those, another one here. You can see why they call them a red shoulder. Braziliensis down here, and Pellini. So this one's actually African cichlid. Madagascar, are they from? I think, if I recall. A chocolate cichlid. This guy's called a chocolate cichlid. And what else is there? Silver shark. I think in the States you call them Bala sharks. Bala sharks, I think. Here in Australia we just call them silver sharks. Where is he? There he is, down there. So yeah, he's getting a good size now. He's gone over a foot long. Featherfin catfish down here. Sedontus eopterus. Red tail catfish. Or red tail shark, I should say. Isn't he gorgeous? And yeah, you think, crikey, he's a bit small with those fish, isn't he? No. They are highly aggressive and they can take care of themselves. Nothing messes with that fish, I can tell you now. I got one silver dollar. And a couple of clown loaches over in the corner there, just chilling. And in this tank, I think that is every single fish I went through. So, how about we do a bit of feeding? This is where it's going to get exciting. So, first of all, let's have a look at the food. So tonight I'm just going to feed them dry food. I feed them dry food most nights, and they probably get frozen food once a week or once every 10 days. My community tank and my discus, they probably get frozen food 3 times a week. So they're a little bit spoilt, but that's because if I was to feed these guys frozen food all the time, they'd just, yeah, they'd cost me an absolute fortune. And I don't know if we can really see in here. Let me see if I can show you. So this is a food for the other tank, but you can just get an idea. So what I do here is I give them a real mix. You can see there's a lot of variety in there of different dry food. So there's a lot of meaty stuff there. There's a lot of vegetarian stuff. So this one here is actually for that tank, but it's very similar to what I give these guys. Some of it's just a bit bigger. And yeah, so it's just dry food. I don't feed my big fish here. If you want to see on the top, so I've just got lids there. I can just open them up, and this is where we could start getting a little bit wet. Let's stand back in case they get carried away. But I don't feed my fish live food. I don't give them live fish or anything like feeder fish or anything like that. Yeah, I might give them some worms. If I get some live black worms, you know, they sort of, you know, they'd cost me a fortune in live black worms. Occasionally I'll spoil them. You know, some earthworms, you know, I don't hesitate on that. Any sort of little worms like that. But yeah, I don't feed them any feeder fish. I find they are aggressive fish. So you can see they're, you know, firing up. It's dinner time. So I find feeding live food just makes them more aggressive. And actually, personally, I don't think it's as good for them as a well-balanced diet. You know, the feeder fish, they're not the best quality, and that's why they sell them as feeder fish. So here's a container of food. And the Oscar's stroppy. All right, let's dump it in, shall we? Okay, what's the best angle? Oh, yeah, it's not in there yet. There we go. Here we go. Let them get into that. Let me come back so you can see what's happening. So some of it's floating, some of it's sinking. Gives a good variety. Just going to put a bit more in. A bit more here. Dump the rest in there, straight on his head. And they will have that cleaned up in no time. So you can see these guys are up here. Got guys down here, so I put a lot. These are more of a vegetarian type fish, so I've got a lot of pellets that sink that are vegetarian pellets, so they're cleaning those up. And we can see the big plecos come up, and I've got a little bit of a treat for him. I've soaked some freeze-dried worms, black worms. So I've got to watch myself here, because that Oscar will take my finger off. Hey, big fella. Come on, let's see if I can hand for you. Where are you, mate? Where are you? You see me? There you go. Let's see if I can get these. There we go. Let's. Oh, watch. Tuck my thumb in, because this guy, he's right there. Look at him. Look at him. He's right there. I'm having a little bit of trouble doing it, but come on, mate. Come on. But he'll just eat those worms straight out of my finger. I sort of got to hold it there and push it down his mouth. Big old sook, isn't he? Let me see. I got some more here. I've actually let it soaked a little bit too much. It's come on, mate. You want some more? No, he's had enough. Oh no, here he comes. Here he comes. Come on, come over here. Come over here. Here he is. Here he is. Come on, get those up, yeah. I'll get those into you. You're that bloody Oscar, eh? He's yeah, he's got me more times than I care. Oh, yeah, I see you, you little bugger. Hey, you get away. I'll give him a little scratch on the nose. Oh, no, I can't scratch his nose. Yes, I love my fish. What can I say? So there you go, guys. I hope that was a little bit interesting. I know it's a hell of a lot different to what you're used to seeing. But yeah, how can you not love fish? So if you keep fish, I know quite a few of you do. Let me know in the comments. If you haven't told me before, just let me know how your fish are going at the moment. If you've already told me before what you've got, what you're keeping, yeah, let me know what's happening in your fish world. But yeah, it's very nice to sit out here at the back here at night and yeah, just enjoy the fish. And yeah, when that happens, not much Lego gets built, I can tell you. Okay, guys, big thank you for watching. I hope, yeah, if you did stick around this long, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I will see you next week in a new video. And until then, take care.